Welcome to today's news wrap up. Let's dive right into the top stories making headlines today. At the CERAWeek conference in Houston, Amazon, Google, and Meta committed to tripling global nuclear energy capacity by 2050. This builds on a 2023 pledge by over 30 countries and aligned with rising demand, especially from power-hungry data centers. The World Nuclear Association expects more support from industries such as maritime, aviation, and oil and gas. And I'm super duper surprised by the overwhelming support we have from these tech giants. But tech giants, they need power. So you don't. It used to be a huge. Fight against nuclear power, especially from environmentalists. So to see this happening is very near and dear to me because I've always been pushing for clean nuclear. But the Trump administration's energy secretary, Chris Wright, highlighted the initiative as the beginning of a new industry. Currently, nuclear energy generates 9% of global electricity from 439 reactors, with supply tight and of uranium prices hitting a 16-year high in early 2024. These tech giants are exploring small modular reactors as part of their investment in nuclear projects. Jay-Z's accuser claims that private investigators manipulated her statements to make it appear she retracted her sexual abuse allegations in a taped conversation. Despite the recorded conversation seemingly showing her retracting her claims, she insists she never stated that Jay-Z was not involved in her alleged abuse. The accuser, identified as Jane Doe, alleges that the investigators harassed her and took her statements out of context, making her appear as if she were discrediting her attorney, Tony Bugsby. Jay-Z's lawyers released the tape claiming it clears Jay-Z of the accusations, while Jane Doe maintains her position that the assault occurred and has filed new documents to support her claims. The ongoing legal battle includes lawsuits and counterclaims, adding to the complex and contentious nature of the case. Karen Tumulty, a Washington Post columnist, made misleading claims about the Department of Government Efficiency on X. Doge responded, clarifying that Social Security is implementing fraud protections similar to those used by major banks. These measures include requiring two-factor authentication for online changes and in-person changes to SSA service centers. The response highlighted the importance of protecting seniors from direct deposit fraud and criticized Tumulty for not fact-checking her claims. The incident underscores the media's tendency to misrepresent actions taken by the Trump administration. You can't trust the mainstream news. We know this. Russian President Vladimir Putin has agreed in principle to a U.S. proposed ceasefire with Ukraine. The 30-day halt to hostilities is aimed at paving the way to lasting peace. Putin emphasized that the ceasefire should address the root cause of the crisis and ensure Ukrainian troops lay down their weapons. He also wants guarantees that Ukraine will not mobilize, train soldiers, or receive weapons during the ceasefire. President Trump, who facilitated the proposal, has been acknowledged by Putin for his efforts in regulating the conflict. The agreement's success depends on the cooperation and actions of all involved parties. Ben & Jerry has faced significant backlash for a social media post supporting National Abortion Provider Appreciation Day. Now, this makes absolutely no sense because as a business, as a corporation, you will want more children being born. It means more consumers for you to feed you their product, for you to feed them your ice cream. It makes no sense why they would be for abortion. This is crazy to me. This is why corporations just need to stay out of this type of stuff. Stay out of social issues because you're going to end up pissing off at least half of the country. But the post, which encouraged followers to stand with abortion providers, led to widespread criticism. Critics condemned the company's stance, with some calling it disgusting and accusing it of celebrating the termination of pregnancies. The post also linked to a page explaining reasons to support abortion providers, highlighting threats and attacks they face. Many users expressed their outrage, vowing to boycott Ben and Jerry's products and criticizing the company for endorsing such a controversial issue. It makes no sense to me why they would stick their head out and stand on an issue like this when you're going to end up pissing off half the country. Again, it makes no sense. President Trump recently expressed confidence that the United States will annex Greenland, highlighting its importance for international security. He discussed this during a meeting with NATO Chief Mark Rutte, emphasizing the need for strategic control in the Arctic region. Rutte acknowledged the strategic significance of the area, mentioning challenges posed by China and Russia. Political parties in Greenland that favor independence from Denmark recently won in a parliamentary election. Sorry, y'all, struggle reading today. I'm a little under the weather, which might influence the island's future. Trump's administration sees acquiring Greenland as a key foreign policy goal for economic and national security reasons. President Donald Trump is reportedly planning to use the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 to accelerate mass deportations as part of the broader immigration crackdown. This rarely used law grants the president broad powers to detain and deport non-citizens from countries deemed hostile. Historically invoked during wartime, such as the War of 1812 and World Wars I and II, it's used for modern immigration enforcement will likely face legal challenges. All you have to do is says we're in a war against terrorists, and he already labeled the cartels terrorists, so he has every right to do this. But Trump's administration has already declared a national emergency at the U.S.-Mexico border and initiated efforts to end birthright citizenship. Recent polls indicate strong public support for Trump's immigration policies, which has seen increased arrests and deportations of criminal migrants. U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. advised against vaccinating poultry amid a bird flu outbreak, citing concerns that the vaccine doesn't provide complete protection and would turn flocks into mutation factories. He emphasized that vaccinating birds with the leaky vaccine increases the risk of the virus jumping to animals. Since the outbreak began in 2022, millions of egg-laying hens have been culled, causing egg prices to skyrocket. Kennedy suggested testing therapeutics on affected flocks instead of culling them. The Trump administration has announced a plan to combat bird flu, including investments in biosecurity measures and research for potential vaccines. Mark Carney, Canada's newly elected prime minister, has been linked to the late child trafficker Jeffrey Epstein and his accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell. A 2013 photo shows Carney, a former central banker and World Economic Forum agenda contributor, with Maxwell at a UK music festival. I wish I could have got my hands on that image. Forgot to post it here. But this image resurfaced ahead of Carney's replacing Justin Trudeau has led to scrutiny from his potential opponents. Carney's team claims the connections are merely circumstantial, that's what they always say, and politically motivated. That's again what they always say. Despite these controversies, Carney received 86% of the Liberal Party's vote to become the new leader. He has also voiced opposition to President Trump's proposed tariffs and reassured that Canada will never become part of America. Lastly, Rep. James Comer and the FBI are set to bring criminal charges against Act Blue operatives for allegedly running the largest money laundering scheme in U.S. history. This is why all the executives are jumping ship. They're running. The rats are fleeing because they know the hammer is about to come down. Comer claims that Act Blue funneled billions of dollars in suspicious cash, potentially from foreign adversaries, into Democrat coffers under the guise of grassroots donations. The investigation has led to chaos within Act Blue, with key executives resigning, lawyers quitting, and employees being locked out of their computers. Comer believes that the evidence is overwhelming and that the investigation will confirm many of their worst theories about Act Blue. The situation has caused panic within the organization, with insiders turning on each other and the entire leadership fleeing, like I was alluding to. But that's all for today's news wrap up. Stay tuned for more updates, and don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.